Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about unanswered questions from Thursday's How to Get Away with Murder Season 3 2-hour finale. Now there may be some questions that could have been answered, but I just wrote down a couple that I thought were left unanswered and that I really looked back on. Okay, number 1. Who is Dominic? As the people who watch finale, Dominic was the person who killed Wes, but we know very little about him. We know that maybe that Laurel's dad, actually Laurel's dad probably did hire him, to kill Wes, or someone. The motive is still unclear. And how does Laurel's family know him? Because at the end of the episode of the finale, where Laurel has the gun in her pocket, or not pocket, but purse, and she's going towards Charles Mahoney, who is getting in the cab, and then Dominic steps in front of her and stops her. And Michaela and Ash are like, "Who's this?" And she's like, "This is Dominic. He's a family friend." I have a theory on that one too. Which is maybe Dominic had something to do with Laurel's kidnapping. Alright, next question. And this is a big one. Who did Wes call in the cab? He called a contact in his phone that was listed as in case of an emergency. We never got an answer for who that was. And, of course, what was the motive behind killing Wes? That was never really explained well enough. Why did Denver need a burner phone? Was he working with the Mahoneys? They didn't really explain that. And here's another one. Here's a big one. How can Charles Mahoney be the father of Wes? In a flashback in the episode, it was 10 years later. Kristoff and Rose are walking, and Charles Mahoney and Sylvia Mahoney run into them. Charles Mahoney looks just like present day Charles Mahoney. Do we know his age? Do we know anything about him? Who kidnapped Laurel, and why did her father cover it up? Was it Dominic? Was it Dominic who had kidnapped her? And, I mean, he's supposedly a family friend, so maybe her dad was covering up the kidnapping to protect Dominic, and not... That's a whole nother video. Alright, this one is kind of confusing. Did Annalise adopt Kristoff? This is kind of a theory more so than a question. She said at the end of the episode that he wasn't just a stranger. He felt like my son. He was my son, and now he's gone. I don't know if I'm reading into things, but I have sources like Entertainment Weekly asking about it. That'll be a different video. Why was Atwood out to ruin Annalise? Because at first it started with Nate. I'll probably have to rewatch the whole season, just to make sure that's correct. And this is the biggest one, I feel, besides who did Wes call. Who was the anonymous source? We never got an answer. Even in the court scene, Bonnie was like, We don't even know who this anonymous source is. And Denver said, the state will the state will hang on. The state will reveal the identity of the anonymous source as they get closer to the trial. Now, there's not going to be a trial. Or, there could be. But for now, there's not going to be one. So that's just an unanswered question that's going to really bug me. Alright, right? Why did the Mahoneys need a DNA test from Wes if Sylvia Mahoney already knew who the father was? This one is just my curiosity. Is Laurel going to get the abortion? Now, I don't think her dad would do anything to hurt her and the baby. You know what I mean? And I'm still not even sure if... Yeah, actually, you know what? It was Wes. Wes was the father, because that was actually answered. Who shot Wallace Mahoney? Did we find that out? I think they might have said it was Frank, but I don't know if that was answered. Who is Maggie's aunt? She said her aunt was an attorney or something like that. And I've seen multiple theories saying that Atwood could have been her aunt. Was Atwood actually lying under oath? What was Atwood really in New York for? How much did Denver have on Laurel besides her lying under oath about the kidnapping? Why did Connor leave his phone at the house? What drug was injected into Wes when he died? How much, and this is a every season question, okay? How much does Annalise know about the Keaton Five? Does she know everything about them? Because the thing is, the way she talks to everyone is like she knows something about their past that, it's just, that kind of bugs me a little, like, every season. Alright, this one. I could be wrong, but did Wes know Dominic? This kind of got, because when Wes was trying to he was calling for help, he was on the ground trying to get to the door. Dominic got him, put him on his back, and Wes said, "Why are you doing this?" That's a good question, Wes, but I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it, but maybe Wes knew Dominic. I'm not sure. That's just a theory. Was the drug that was injected into Wes on the autopsy report? That's what I want to know. Where was Connor being held? I'm assuming that was just like a little interrogation room thing. I don't know. This is another thing I saw people talk about was Denver working with Laurel's father and Dominic? Because there was a scene with Denver and Dominic, when he left, was said, "Lovely seeing you too." So they've seen each other before. That's a really good question that needs to, be answered and explained. Why did Dominic have Wes's phone? And why did they keep it from, everything? Like, what was on his phone besides that voicemail that he sent to Annalise? Why exactly did Annalise go back to the house for that picture of her in the hospital with her child and Sam. Um, and this really stood out because Laurel, I know Laurel's smart, so I think she actually figured it out when she asked it. Does Laurel know that Bonnie killed Rebecca? I think she does. I think she figured it out. Um, this is just a side question. Where did Laurel get the gun? Because I know, she had, after Connor told what happened and everything, she was going to leave the house, and Bonnie said, "Where are you going?" And she said, "To buy a gun so I can kill Connor." Like, jokingly. Did she actually just go and buy a gun? I don't know. Um, and finally, who does Dominic really work for? Who is Dominic? Um, Honestly, the finale was decent. It was decent. It was very um everywhere though. It was just very confusing. Um I think my favorite part of the episode, ship wise, was probably when Oliver was so worried about Connor, and everything. I really like Oliver. Um Story wise, there's just so much to look back on, and it just, I feel like we still have questions that need to be answered. You know what I mean? Um, but anyway, that was my How to Get Away with Murder Season 3 finale unanswered question video. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Bye.